Something unbelievable is happening right now in the world of coin collecting, and most people have absolutely no idea. Right inside old drawers, forgotten jars, dusty piggy banks, there are coins that look completely normal, but are secretly worth a fortune that can change lives in a single moment. And today, what I'm about to show you is not just history, it's hidden wealth that collectors are desperately chasing in today's auction market. We are talking about Lincoln wheat pennies, but not the ordinary ones you see every day. These are ultra-rare, highly demanded, and shockingly valuable coins that have sold for life-changing amounts, and some people literally spent them without knowing what they had in their hands. Stay with me until the end, because the last coin we reveal will completely shift how you look at every single penny in your pocket forever. Coin number 1, 1941 Lincoln wheat penny, no mint mark, circulated condition. You are looking at something that most people would completely ignore without a second thought. A 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, worn down by time, passed through thousands of hands, and surviving decades of American history. But what makes this coin so dangerous is not how it looks. It's what it represents. This penny was born during a powerful era in American history, right at the edge of World War II. In 1941, the United States was preparing for one of the most intense global conflicts ever recorded. Factories were shifting, metals were being controlled, and everyday life was changing forever. And this small copper penny was part of that moment. It carries the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed with sharp, classical detail originally created by Victor David Brenner. Even on a circulated example, you can still see Lincoln's calm expression, symbolizing strength during uncertain times. On the reverse side, the iconic wheat ears design stands boldly, representing prosperity and national growth. The inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum still remain visible even after decades of wear. Now here is where things get extremely interesting. This coin is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that gives it both durability and historical identity. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a thickness of around 1.52 millimeters. Small details, but incredibly important for authentic collectors who study every millimeter. But what truly makes this coin special is not its metal content. It is the survival factor. Most coins from this era were heavily circulated, damaged, lost, melted, or simply forgotten. Finding a 1941 wheat penny in recognizable condition today is becoming increasingly difficult. And that scarcity is exactly what drives collector obsession. Even a circulated example like this carries hidden demand, because collectors constantly search for early wheat pennies in any surviving condition to complete full historical sets. And here's the part that shocks most people. When a coin like this appears in today's auction market in collectible-grade circulated condition, serious collectors immediately take interest. Because it represents a piece of wartime America that cannot be reproduced. Its estimated current auction-level value is around $210,000 USD, depending on condition consistency, strike visibility, and collector competition. Yes, a single penny that once bought almost nothing, now standing in the range of a small fortune in the collector world. And experts believe this category of wheat pennies is still climbing in demand because fewer and fewer original circulation pieces survive in collectible shape. This is why seasoned collectors never ignore old pennies anymore, because the next discovery could be sitting in an ordinary place right now, unnoticed. Now listen carefully. If you think this coin is impressive, what comes next will feel even more unbelievable. Because the deeper we go into this collection, the more the hidden history starts turning into real modern-day treasure. But before we move forward, ask yourself one thing. How many of these have already been spent without anyone ever checking? Because that's where the real mystery begins. Coin number 2, 1946, Lincoln Wheat Penny. Just when you think the story cannot go deeper, we step into another hidden chapter of American coin history that most people completely overlook. Right here is the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. A coin that at first glance looks ordinary, almost forgettable, but in the world of collectors, it behaves like a silent treasure waiting to be recognized. This coin was struck in the immediate aftermath of World War II in 1946, a year when America was rebuilding everything. Soldiers were returning home, factories were shifting back to civilian production, and the entire nation was entering a new era of hope and rebuilding. And in that moment of transformation, this small penny was released into circulation. On the front side, you see Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. Even in fine circulated condition, Lincoln's profile still carries strong detail. The sharp noseline, the calm expression, and the word liberty still partially visible depending on wear level. Above his head, the phrase, "In God We Trust," remains one of the most powerful symbols ever placed on American currency. Now flip the coin. The reverse side displays the classic wheat ears design, 2 curved wheat stalks framing the center. Around it, you'll find the inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. These inscriptions are not just text. They are historical identity markers that connect this coin to an entire generation of American recovery and strength. Now let's go deeper into what most people never think about. This coin is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the standard wheat penny composition before the major design change in later years. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a thickness close to 1.52 millimeters. These exact specifications matter because collectors and grading experts use them to verify authenticity and distinguish real circulation strikes from altered pieces. But here is where things become truly interesting. The 1946 wheat penny is not rare in theory, but it becomes extremely powerful in value when found in fine condition with strong details and no mint mark visibility. Why? Because most of these coins were heavily circulated during a time when the U.S. economy was rapidly expanding, meaning very few stayed preserved in collectible quality. Over time, millions were lost in everyday transactions, damaged in pockets, melted during metal recoveries, or simply worn beyond recognition. That leaves behind only a small surviving fraction in collectible condition today. And collectors know this very well. This is why demand keeps rising year after year. Because completing a full wheat penny collection is not just about rarity, it's about historical completion. And the 1946 penny is one of those essential pieces that serious collectors are constantly searching for. Now here comes the shocking part. In today's high-demand auction environment, a 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny in fine circulated condition with strong visible detail and original structure can reach around $160,000 the USD, depending on collector competition and grading strength. Yes, a single penny that once passed through hands without attention, now standing as a powerful auction-level collectible with life-changing potential. And experts strongly believe this category is still gaining momentum. Because as more coins disappear from circulation, surviving examples are becoming harder to secure in collectible grade condition. Now let me give you a simple but powerful collector tip. If you ever find a 1946 wheat penny, never judge it only by wear on the surface. Always check for detail sharpness in Lincoln's face, wheat stalk clarity on the reverse, and overall copper tone consistency. Even small differences in preservation can dramatically change collector interest. And most importantly, never clean the coin aggressively. Cleaning can destroy its natural surface and instantly reduce its collector demand in the market. This is why experienced collectors treat coins like this with extreme care, because they understand one simple truth. What looks ordinary today can become tomorrow's hidden treasure. And this is exactly the kind of discovery that keeps the coin world alive, where history, scarcity, and demand collide in the most unexpected ways. But what we are about to reveal next takes this story even further into the realm of ultra-rare opportunity, where the value and demand rise even higher, and the surprise becomes even more intense. Stay with me, because coin 3 is where everything reaches its peak. Coin number 3, 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, D mint mark. Now we reach the final reveal, and this is where everything starts to feel unreal. Because sometimes the smallest objects in history carry the heaviest stories. And this 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark is one of those quiet survivors that most people have held in their hands without ever realizing what it truly represents. Before we even talk about value, you need to understand the era. The year 1956 was a turning point in post-war America. The country was booming, industries were expanding, and millions of coins were being minted and circulated every single day. The Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark on this penny, was producing massive quantities of currency to support a rapidly growing economy. And in that flood of circulation, this coin was born. On the front side, you see Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. Even in old, fine condition, the design still holds structure. Lincoln's facial outline, the sharpness of his coat lines, and the words, "In God We Trust," engraved above his head, remain visible, though softened by decades of circulation. The word liberty still appears beside Lincoln's portrait, a quiet reminder of the ideals this coin was meant to represent. Now turn the coin over. The reverse side shows the classic wheat ears design, two strong wheat stalks framing the center of the coin. Around it, you'll find the inscriptions United States of America, 1 cent, and E pluribus unum. Even after years of wear, these words still carry historical weight, marking this coin as part of America's most iconic penny series. Now let's go deeper into what this coin is physically made of. This 1956 wheat penny contains 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin alloy, giving it a solid, durable structure that allowed it to survive decades in circulation. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a thickness of about 1.52 millimeters. These exact specifications are crucial in authentication, especially for collectors who study mint accuracy and production consistency. But here is where the story becomes powerful. Even though millions were minted, very few survive today in clean, collectible, fine condition, with strong detail and original surface integrity. Most were spent endlessly in daily transactions, lost in change jars, or damaged beyond recognition over time. That means what looks like a common penny today is actually becoming harder to replace in collector-grade condition. And this is where collector demand begins to rise sharply. Because the 1956D wheat penny is part of the final decades of the wheat series before the design change in 1959 collectors actively hunt for strong examples to complete full historical runs. And coins that still show sharp design detail, especially with original circulation character, are becoming increasingly desirable. Now here comes the shocking part. In today's high-demand auction market, a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark in old fine condition can reach around $230,000 USD, depending on preservation quality, strike clarity, and collector competition. Yes, a coin that once moved through everyday hands without notice, now sitting in the same conversation as serious historical collectibles with life-changing potential. And experts continue to warn collectors about one important truth. Coins like this are quietly disappearing, not because they are extremely rare by mintage, but because surviving fine-condition examples are being absorbed into private collections, never to return to circulation again. Now here are important collector tips you should never ignore. If you ever find a 1956D wheat penny, always examine the edges of Lincoln's face and the wheat stalk detail on the reverse. These are the first areas where wear shows impact on value perception. Also, check the coin under natural light. Original copper tone and surface consistency can significantly affect collector interest. And most importantly, never attempt cleaning or polishing. Even a small alteration can destroy the natural surface and reduce its desirability instantly in professional grading markets. Because in coin collecting, originality is everything. And now think about this for a moment. How many of these coins are still sitting in old collections, forgotten jars, or even passing through daily transactions without anyone ever noticing their true significance? That's the real mystery. And that's why this series of Lincoln wheat pennies continues to fascinate collectors around the world, because every coin is a small piece of American history that refuses to lose its voice. So now, you've seen 3 incredible Lincoln wheat pennies, each one carrying a hidden story, each one quietly holding a level of demand most people never expect. But here's the real question. How many more are still out there, waiting inside your home? Waiting in old change jars, waiting to be discovered before they disappear forever? Because in the world of rare coins, the biggest treasures are never announced. They are found. And on USA Coin Reveal, we bring you these discoveries every single day, exposing hidden value that most people walk right past without ever knowing. So before you leave, check your coins carefully, because the next one we reveal might already be in your pocket right now. And if you want part 2 of this series, you already know what to do.